Hello everybody, I'm Devin from RoadTripCentral and I know what you're here for. This, the Cadillac CT6-V. Yes, Cadillac's flagship sedan has finally been adorned with the V-Series badge. The badge that's been reserved for cars that compete with other luxury performance cars such as the BMW M3 or the Mercedes C63 AMG. Cadillac's V-Series started over 15 years ago, and each car that has been graced with the V-Series badge has been equipped with significant performance improvements over their more conventional counterparts. From improved suspension and powertrains to interior and exterior styling, and the CT6-V holds true to that tradition. In the looks department, the V only has a handful of cosmetic differences that allow you to differentiate between it and the regular CT6s. The first and the most obvious is the V-Series badge. You'll also notice the black mesh grille, a carbon fiber rear lip spoiler, additional ground effects, and these actually intriguing split V wheels. And the best part is, this isn't all just for show. In fact, I'd say that the CT6-V is much faster than it looks. It really packs a punch. The CT6 is the first car that's been equipped with Cadillac's new 4.2-liter twin-turbo V8, nicknamed the Blackwing. The Blackwing is something special for a variety of reasons. Each Blackwing V8 is hand-built by one of 6 people in little old Bowling Green, Kentucky. And not only is it the first twin-turbo V8 to come from GM factories, it's also the first engine from GM that features the Hot V turbo setup. The turbochargers are actually nestled in the V of the engine, nice and tight, close to the engine block, rather than residing elsewhere in the engine bay. This helps reduce turbo lag, and it helps keep the cold air and the hot air separated in the engine bay, which ultimately results in improved performance. The Blackwing V8 in the CT6-V produces 550 horsepower and 640 pound-feet of torque. That, with the help of the 10-speed automatic transmission and all-wheel drive, will propel the CT6-V from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 3.8 seconds. And that is quick. I do admit that's not quite as quick as the Audi RS7 that I got to drive a few years ago, but in the US market, considering that the price difference is about $20,000, the Audi RS7 is that much more, I'd say that the performance difference is justifiable. With this much power moving around this much weight, and this car weighs about 4,500 pounds, Cadillac utilizes some hefty 370mm Brembo front brakes to bring the car to a stop. But how's the car fare in the corners? Magnetic ride control comes standard on every single CT6-V. That and all-wheel drive with all-wheel steering. Yes, you heard that right. Cadillac now has a true V-Series car that comes with all-wheel drive, so there's no excuses for all of you who said you were too afraid to drive a CTS-V in the rain or the snow. This is your answer. I've come to know the CT6 to be the flagship for Cadillac, which obviously means it's got one of the most luxurious interiors on the market. The first difference that you notice with the CT6-V is that you've got carbon fiber trim just about through the entire cabin. This CT6, like your other higher trim CT6s, is very well equipped. You have heated seats, you have cooled seats, you have dual zone climate control up front, and this specific car also has the quad zone climate control, so both seats in the back have their own settings. Another cool interior feature about the CT6-V is that you get the Bose Panerai sound system. You have 34 speakers throughout the cabin that gives you one of the best audio experiences that you can find in the automotive market today. And just like most of the other Cadillacs today, you get the Q system for your infotainment. In my opinion, it's one of the better touchscreen systems. It responds pretty quickly and is pretty intuitive, and it actually has quite a few features that you can use. The seats in the CT6-V, I would say, are plenty comfortable for anybody who's going to be driving this car. Whether you're big or small, it seems to fit just right. They're not aggressively bolstered like what you see in the cts-v or the ATS-V. So as you can see, it's got an excellent interior. So does the CT6-V deserve to be part of the V Club? Well, the numbers would say yes. It's got the luxurious features and the performance figures that give it the right to wear that V badge. But unfortunately, there's a problem. It's not all about the numbers. It needs to feel like a V car. And to find that out, we're gonna have to go drive it. That actually sounds pretty good. That kind of reminds me of the sound from the North Star Vs back in the mid-2000s. The engineers didn't quiet down too much like I thought they were going to. All right, time to drive it. This is Rob Anderson. He's a good friend of mine that works at Lindsay Cadillac, which is the dealership that was gracious enough to let me review this CT6-V. He's going along with us so that he can answer any questions that we have, and maybe for insurance purposes, right? That might be the case.
Definitely.
So unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time to drive this car. It is a brand new car, it's never been owned, it's only got 54 miles on the odometer at the moment, and we've got just a few miles to work with. So we're gonna do a little bit of driving and try and do the most efficient test drive you've ever seen. Something just fall out of my pocket. We're going so fast, stuff's flying out of my pocket. That is one surprisingly good sounding engine. And it pulls pretty good. The ride's nice and smooth on these bumpy roads. That's something that we can definitely owe to the magnetic ride control. It's just unfortunate there's so much rain.
Yeah.
But it does show off the all-wheel drive system in this car. I can completely understand why people would complain about the CTS-Vs and the ATS-Vs only being rear-wheel drive and how it's not quite as practical as they want it to be. But again, now you don't have any excuses because this will hook up. At the moment I have it in sport mode, and the exhaust is pretty meaty. I like it. But you can quiet it down. So if I turn it into tour mode, suddenly there's less exhaust note. So something that I'm noticing different about this is that when you're driving it regularly, it doesn't really beg to be driven hard. And that's something different from the CTS-V and the ATS-V. They really want you to drive them fast. But this one, this is okay with just being driven as a luxury car. It's okay with being a CT6. Kind of cold today. So later on last night, Rob and I got to sit down at one of our favorite barbecue places here in Virginia and discuss our thoughts on the CT6-V. This car, this is something else. I've always been a huge fan of the Cadillac CTS-V. It's unapologetic attitude, it's muscular styling, it's brutally torquey V8. But this car, this is wonderfully elegant and practical in just about every sense. Yet it doesn't give up that sensational power from the Blackwing V8 or any of its performance capabilities. I sincerely believe that anybody looking for a luxury sports sedan that you can drive every day, everywhere, this is spot on. this is that car. This is a classy, elegant CT6 that's been transformed into a performance machine. And it's a shame that Cadillac isn't going to be making many more of them. The first 275 were sold out immediately, and then the few hundred that they've done beyond then, that's just not very many. They're flying off the shelves, and Cadillac's going to be ending production in mid-January from what sources say. So if you're seriously considering buying one of these, you gotta pull the trigger ASAP, because they're not sticking around very long. In fact, you can buy this one. You can buy it from Lindsay Cadillac in Alexandria, Virginia. They're the dealership that was so gracious to let me do a review on this car, and they're honestly one of the best dealerships that I've ever worked with. They've been providing excellent customer service for the last 60 years. And you can look up the reviews online. It's not just my opinion. They really do score top marks. But they've got a massive inventory, luxury cars, performance cars, all sorts of stuff in between. Just visit them at lindsaycadillac.com, or you can give them a call, speak to anyone out of their excellent sales team, including Rob. And one important thing, especially regarding this car and other rare cars like this, Lindsay Cadillac does not charge dealer markups. And honestly, these days that's rare. So I'd just like to thank Lindsay Cadillac for giving me the opportunity to drive this car, and you guys should check them out. Thank you all so much for watching the video all the way through to the end. I couldn't do this without your support. And if you're wondering how you can help us keep making videos like this, it actually helps us so much more than you know, just by you watching our videos. And if you share your videos with your friends, your family, your pets, even your car, it helps us a ton. Please just remember to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And if you're interested in supporting us even more, you can find the link to our Patreon in the description. So thank you guys so much. I'll see you next time.